Thank you for your time. This is all about driving innovation and building an exciting future for financial services organizations with no code. We've invited our customers. They can share real life business transformations, implementing no-code platform, leveraging their talent with Creatio. So I'm delighted to welcome Florin Badescu, who is Chief Digital Officer at BRD. Florin, it's brilliant to see you again. Perhaps you could just introduce yourself and tell us a little bit more about BRD, and then we can get into some questions. How about that?
Sure. Thank you, Andre. It's great to be here. I'm part of BRD for 3 years, as you mentioned, as the Chief Digital Officer. As part of my role, I facilitate a wide digital agenda in BRD. BRD is part of Groupe Société Générale, which is a French international financial group with presence on multiple continents and countries. And in Romania, BRD is a top 2-3 bank, depending on what KPIs you are measuring this.
Fantastic. So a universal bank offering complete financial services for individuals and also for corporates, right? So just to set the scene, BRD's first phase for SME banking is on the Creatio platform, right? Consolidating all of the customer information to provide a single 360 of the customer. Hello, Kate.
I think we are good.
Okay, right. So when we've got this customer 360, that allows us to do the cross-selling and the upselling and managing leads and opportunities, etc. But Florin, if we step back, you've done lots of transformation in both banking and in telcos. So if we step back and talk about what are the most striking differences between these industries with the digital transformation projects.
Вы смогли с Сэмом связаться? Я бы выкинула сама, чтобы все по зуму.
Did you catch that, Florin?
Yes, I did. Technology is failing us sometimes, and other times it's helping us to get to the moon, you know.
We will make our way through it. We will make our way. So look, just to rephrase, banking, telcos, you've got huge experience. What would you say is the most striking differences between these two industries for digital transformation?
Well, I joined telco at the end of the 90s. I think in 1998 when Google was launched, but before Facebook and so on. But definitely, telco is a technology-based business. I mean, it doesn't matter when you're in your moment in time joining, you feel that because they have technology in their industry DNA. So and also in the last 20-25 years, they've been in the front and in the center of the actual industrial revolution, which is based on internet connectivity and mobility. For banking instead, the change is different because is more difficult and deeper when we are talking about digital transformation. It's a highly regulated business. Practically, the banking business is based on risk management. That's all about in this business and related to their resilience. Definitely, it's not so dynamic and innovative. I believe that the last big mass innovation moment was 50 years ago when the first ATM was launched in London by Barclays, I believe.
Barclays.
Yeah, that's half a century ago. And technology and IT were seen as a support function somewhere hidden in the core of the bank, in the middleware and so on, while the physical branches have supported the business and still are right now. So yeah, this is the striking difference, at least for me, the way you see technology in both industries. But I would say that right now the field is level for both of them because both industries face similar questions. How do you stay relevant in this kind of world, or what kind of role are you going to play?
No, very interesting. And yeah, it's interesting how to utilize technology as life goes on. What would you say, Florin, the key components are to a successful digital transformation for FS? Like the key components?
Well, I will start with you should define your vision. That I think this is something which the business should have in mind. Doesn't matter the process. What's your North Star? What's your level of ambition? What do you want to achieve and how far? And it's for digital transformation is even more important, this kind of stuff, because you are not doing this as a copy of your competition. It's not a beauty contest. It's not something like this. Let's copy what other banks or other companies are doing. You should imagine this kind of process to your customers and your DNA, your organization DNA. Then you have to get the main stakeholders involved. Make sure that it's a shared and committed vision. And this is not related only to governance, but also to consistency, because you want to be sure that you are doing the right thing in the right way. Third, definitely, I would take care of change management and delivery, because it's a huge and really deep transformation process and is going to touch every part of your company. And last but not least, choose the right partners and technologies. And this is not something which you can easily do, because it's an inflation of technologies and partners. You have tens of examples, but maybe only few of them would make sense for you. So you have to make the smart choices. You don't really have room to fail in this process, because it's going to cost you time and money.
Yeah. So change management and building up the right digital products and services. Like what challenges have you faced during this process? Like how do you address those challenges, Florin?
Well, I would say that the companies, even if you saw these kind of examples on the market, because right now digital transformation is not something new anymore. So we are all very deep in the process. It's not the 90s or the 2000s anymore. So we all knew what's all about. We are still, I think, underestimate the effort or I would say, the depth of the transformation. And I think Voltaire said once that if you want to discuss with me, first define your terms. And it's really important not to confuse digitization with digital transformation, making a digital front end being a digital company. There are different things. And it's not bad to choose different paths to serve your customers. It's your choice as an organization to better choose your customers, but you have to understand the depth of your choice. So I think still the companies or some of the companies don't really get it, that this is going to be the new normal. It's not going to be a one-time process, a one-time project or something like this, couple of years of budget and doing things. This is going to be the new normal.
Yeah, no, I think very astute point, Florin. And with regards to no code, okay, the market has got a real swell and wave around no code. It's on the agenda of many digital leaders' minds. It's on the front of agenda at many boards. What would you say the role is with no code development for the future of banking?
Well, I remember that I read that sometimes in the past that the GitHub CEO said once that the future of coding is no coding at all. And probably it's a bit exaggerated, because there always be a need for some coding here and there. But the question is, if everybody have to code heavily in order to get access to some products and services. After all, the primary goal of a business is to spend more time with the customers and understand their needs and serve their needs. That's the most part of the organization should do. And the question is, how can you spare time and get to the market faster, or be more productive, or have lower costs just to free up time and value and money in order to serve your customers. So I think these kind of platforms, which are not new, because you could compare them with the productivity tools and other technical tools which has been developed in the last years, are here to stay, because they serve to this need and this objective. They really help the companies to spare time and better serve the customers. At the same time, I think they also boost innovation, because they could help business people in a company to play with the platform, to play with the logic, to make it happen by themselves, and not just being there waiting for IT to get the right product for what they think the customer wants. So they are becoming as an active role and partner in using this platform. Definitely, there is no single golden bullet, and saying that you have to do that. It's a learning process. Here in BRD, we are working with multiple front-end platforms, and we are learning the game. But I think they are here to stay, and I'm quite optimistic about them.
Fantastic. So all about empowering business and freeing up bandwidth, so you can really keep that system aligned with where you're going as a business, which these days is going a lot quicker and changing direction a lot quicker. So having an agile platform that goes with you and is part of your business is a very important ingredient in business. And Florian, just one last question, because I'm very conscious of time, and thank you again for sparing your experience. But I reckon probably one of these questions is going to be right at the forefront of a lot of our audience's mind right now. You've done many transformation projects. If you could go back in time and do something differently on one of those projects that would make a real difference from your learning, what would that highlight be?
Well, that's a good question. Well, I think even if it's hard to do it, and everybody's trying to do it, you have to surround yourself with the right talent, because it's a war of talent. Of course, we are talking about technologies and so on, but even your organization, my organization, other people's organization, we are really trying to get the right talent. And this is talking about a diversity of skills, and having people who have general knowledge or specific ones. And you need architects, you need designers, product owners, and so on. So looking back in time, maybe I should have tried harder to find this kind of talent and keep it in the team, because this is not something you are going to fix along the process. So this is one point. And the second one, and this is an advice for other people which are doing digital transformation, don't delay too much the change of culture and the way you deliver value and make decisions, because this is also going to make a difference. So talent and the culture of organization are really important for a successful process.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for that, Florian. We've just had a question come through, actually, and we've got some time, if that's okay. Sure. This is from the audience. Given the complex nature of the digital world, what practical strategies can you deploy for helping them initiate and plan for digital transformations across their operations? So given the complex nature, what can practical strategies be deployed to help initiate and plan for digital transformation?
Well, it's a general question. Well, I think a successful digital transformation strategy, as I said, should be very practical and concrete, because otherwise could be everyone's strategy. All the strategy have good stuff written there. They are very positive and they have a lot of good value proposition. But if you change the brands, could be every organization strategy. From my experience, I would say that you always are going to take from the outside to inside, because you are going to follow your customer, which is your audience. And where is your customer? If that customer is in the digital and is going to use the channels and the value and the financial service in one way, you have to follow it. But the answer is in the core. So here, I would say there are, if you are talking about the IT infrastructure, and I spent a lot of time with that, is that some banks are succeeded to change even their core system and making a digital core, and then they become easier, a digital organization, or you could use a digital middleware, and you are going to cover it with a digital front end, and you could have this kind of low-code, no-code platforms or other CRM solutions and so on. But I would say that any kind of strategy, if you want to make it concrete and practical, should be written by the IT and the product owners, meaning the business people and the IT people. Even if the decision is of the stakeholders and they are going to pay for that strategy should be written by the IT people, production, IT, development, and so on, and product owners. And they are going to have to give you also the pace of change.
Fantastic. So I guess, Florian, what's coming through here are several questions around the same topic. Do you think that digital transformation can be achieved without a culture of innovation?
I don't think so. I'm quite straightforward and blunt here, because yeah, for sure, if you are going to, that's the old saying, fake it till you make it, but as I said, this is not something you are going to run away with it. It's not going to have a process here and there, a great app, even a data management system or a great CRM and so on. But if you don't have a digital mindset, you are not going to have a digital business, meaning not per se, not having their digital proposition, because many players are offering this, but being performant in a market like this, challenging the top digital banks, fintechs, and so on. And if you look at the fintechs, and if you look at the high performers, bank performing in this field, you are going to see that people there also have a digital mindset, not only a set of digital products. You can buy them, but you can't do it. And this is my feeling, being there in the game every year, every month, in the years to come without a digital mindset.
Brilliant, very poignant, Florian, and thank you very much for sharing your thoughts and your experiences of digital transformation and how low-code, no-code can really help from a platform point of view push your business forward. So, Florian, thank you very much. Thank you for your time, everybody.